Hello, everyone. For the past year, I pinned several irritated tweets in response to the increasingly heated political and culture war front. In response to the fraudulent, synthetic, phony, made up, completely astroturfed American left. I am employing that term left because it is apparently now mandatory to agree with the consensus of the vanguard of US imperialism, which is the American left. Though I'm probably getting the naming wrong anyway. Though you're getting it wrong is the whole point of the whole thing, isn't it? But also, I'm trying to make a point. I've essentially been banned from Twitter for that exact reason. I say banned, although technically I have been permanently suspended unless I submit to the consensus of the woke State Department and the synthetic left. And I would rather die than do that. And hopefully it does not come to that. But who the hell knows in these increasingly strange days? What was I suspended for exactly? What was the fuss all about? And even more importantly, and more complexly, what exactly is it that I said that resulted in my ban? Here are some of the tweets that I made that probably made Twitter take the decision to ban me.
Based, 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 based.
Response from Twitter, quote, violating our rules against ban evasion. You may not circumvent a Twitter suspension, enforcement action, or anti-spam challenge. This behavior intended to evade any Twitter remediation, such as creating a new account or repurposing an already existing account. Note that if you attempt to evade a permanent suspension by creating new accounts, we will suspend your new accounts. If you wish to submit an appeal, please contact our support team. First, I did not evade suspension, given that I have never actually been suspended from Twitter. That leaves the following possibilities. Given that I have 0 alts, that leaves the possibility of the Show Infrared account created in February of 2021 last year, which was indeed suspended. However, that was not my account, but one of the invisible 12th showrunners accounts, who is not public. And that is in itself a problem, is that Twitter did not specify exactly why I am banned for ban evasion or which account they allege I had created that had been suspended prior to or concurrent with the one that I am handling now. And that speaks to the utter carelessness of Twitter with regard to the proprietary usership of its base in its utterly reckless censorial actions. I should at least know exactly what I did wrong if I am to acknowledge the validity of this ban for ban evasion of a suspended Twitter account. Which account, you sons of bitches? Because such things matter when the accusations start flying. So, what's the real reason I was banned? Well, for starters, remember when there was a real American communist left? Remember when the word communist actually carried the weight of the strength and power of the American working class? Remember when it wasn't discursively dominated by all these fraudulent, synthetic, fake, phony leftists that are really vanguards of US imperialism and the Rockefeller State Department agenda that has been funneled and pushed into US society with the help of NGOs, academia, and the philanthropic organizations of the billionaire class. Synthetic leftists, we'll see who cancels who. Alright, real talk. I was banned from Twitter. I'm trying to give more of a shit than I actually do about it, and I frankly just don't. Twitter has never been the same after Trump was banned, and honestly, I always saw my account as just kind of a troll account to fuck with people. But eventually, I did realize that it became a kind of rallying point for people who wanted to rediscover the meaning of communism and stuff discursively. And it became more than that. I started, growing engagement and reaching bigger audiences. But as far as I'm concerned, Twitter was always a chore for me, and hopefully this ban is going to lead to much more productivity on my part, both in the form of my writings and in the form of like videos like this, as well as increased streaming quality. There's downsides to this, but there's also upsides. But the actual reason I'm making this video is because I want to make and communicate something very clear. The only reason I ever was significant on Twitter in the first place wasn't because of me and my, outrageous tweets. It was because of you. It was because you guys managed to find a way to synthesize what I was saying into something that could be replicated. You could recruit people. This message could be communicated, and it could be coherent, and it could make sense to people. So I want to strongly urge that I don't want you guys to move to Truth Social or some other platform and be primarily on there. Stay on Twitter. Keep fighting the good fight. The only reason they hated me was because of you. Now, with that being said, even though I'm not going to be on Twitter, you're still going to be able to find me in places like, Telegram, okay? So, I'm going to be on Telegram. I'm still going to compose my thoughts. I'm going to wait and see what happens with this suspension. Maybe in the future I'll have a friend make a Twitter account. And, but I want you guys to stay on Twitter and keep fighting. I want you to keep boosting each other's tweets, keep coordinating with each other, and keep making inroads, okay? Because if we give up on the surface web and on the mainstream, it's not going to bode well as far as our ability to grow is concerned. So keep fighting the good fight. Keep going on Twitter and spreading the message and disrupting the discourse and making the haters and the synthetic leftist scum seethe and tremble on the daily. Again, it was you, the community, that earned such ire, that earned me such ire from these demonic scumbag pieces of shits that, got me. Furthermore, even though that was the stated reason Twitter banned me, which was apparently for ban evasion, there's actually a lot of evidence that this was a mass-reported campaign from the NAFO trolls. We have screenshots and, several pieces of evidence in the form of them gloating about it and so on, that they tried to, report my tweet history and look for the keyword bitch. And, they did it in such a coordinated way that, I guess Twitter decided it was an offense, but the way that they reported that to me was a ban evasion for some reason. But everyone who reported me basically said there was a violation of the rules found on the basis of your report, that it was hateful or it was hateful conduct, something like that. That's the main one people are seeming to report. But anyway, Infrared's not going anywhere. If you want to get my, daily thoughts, still going to be on Telegram. I hope what I post on the Telegram inspires you guys to spread the message to Twitter and take what I'm saying on stream, take what I'm saying elsewhere, and translate that into Twitter. And I believe in you guys. I think you're going to be able to do it. I think you guys are going to be fine without me on Twitter for now, right? Maybe I'll come back one day. That's not going to be very soon, I don't think. But I do think Twitter still has some significance, although I heard dwindling significance, still has some significance as far as the info war is concerned. So don't let this demoralize you and continue fighting the good fight. With that being said, I'm out. Gorillas, remember, infrared is rising. Always rising.